all, I just want to tell all my brothers, hey, man, first of all, I just want to say, man, thank you, Trump. Because guess what? I went to a construction site today, y'all. Remember, I didn't have no job. I was doing Uber. Couldn't find a job nowhere. I went to a construction site. They was already working. Got hired on the spot. Thank you, Mr. Trump. Thank you so much, man. Thank you, Mr. Trump. If it wasn't for the move that you did make for the immigrants, and I'm not talking about the good people, I wouldn't have a job right now. Mr. President, I've been working all day, Mr. President. I just got off, Mr. President. I got a job for Monday, Mr. President. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Guys, let me tell you, man, I walked in today on a construction site, hired me on the spot. I started work today, just got off, y'all. Mr. Trump, thank you so much.
They're taking black jobs.
They're taking black jobs.
Oh yeah, it's wide open right now if you want a job. Construction sites, them chicken plants, those farms, just to name a few. They wanted to push the stereotype that Americans, especially black Americans, didn't want those jobs and we was lazy. But the truth is, it was very hard to get those jobs unless you were illegal. But don't take my word for it. Look at what's happening in New York.
And those businesses, by complaining to the news that immigration raids have scared away their employees, they've just admitted to illegally hiring and employing people who can't legally work and may be in the country without permission. Which brings us to the real reason why certain parts of New York are turning into ghost towns by allowing over 400,000 people to live in this city without permission to be in the US. An entire economic system has been created which is illegal and exploits everyone who's part of it. In fact, I spoke to one restaurant worker who said their boss was hiring newly arrived asylum seekers off the books for far below minimum wage so they could save money.
They're taking black jobs and they're taking Hispanic jobs.
Immigration activists are somehow mad at black Democrats, but ask yourself this question. If you got two groups competing for the same jobs, who's more likely to get hired? A group with rights and protections that must be paid a competitive wage, or a group that has desperation and no protection that could be paid anything the employer deems fit?
That's a good point. You've got a good point.
Shout out to Treehouse News for these clips. Links to the original video in the description below.
A black man asked, if they were deporting black Americans, do you think the Latino community would come to our defense?
Hell no.
Yo, what up? So I'm seeing a lot of videos right now with black people kind of outraged, upset about mass deportations. And I just got one thing to say. Black people, mind your business. Mind your business. This ain't none of your business. Ask yourself this question. If they were deporting black people, do you think that the South American Latino community that consider themselves white will come to your defense?
No.
Matter of fact, they benefit from an amendment, the 14th Amendment, which was meant for black people, slaves, when it comes to birthright citizenship, when they drop anchor babies, then take advantage of every social program that black people depend on. So all I gotta say is, mind your business. This ain't even our fight.
They want you to believe that you're sharing resources, but ask yourself, as a man, do you get free housing and health care?
The answer is hell no.
It's a slap in the face to low-income black communities to watch people get handouts that they never had access to. But the question still remains, why are immigrant activists mad at black Democrats? Let's find out.
Mexicans begging black Americans for help. Hashtag no bueno.
One thing that I have to ask is got me really bothered is, where are y'all Black Lives Matter people at, man? When y'all needed us Mexicans and all my peoples was there.
Stop the cap.
Standing, marching along with y'all right there, ready to take out whatever needed to be done.
That's a damn lie.
So now where y'all at, man? This is real talk, man. This is get off the man. Where y'all at, man? This is real talk.
They in the same place your community was when George Zimmerman killed Trayvon Martin, on the sidelines. But don't get it twisted, I understand your frustration. Black Lives Matter didn't give a damn about our black asses either.
He ain't lying.
I think it's funny how everybody's true colors are coming out.
I know that ain't who I think it is.
Especially the black people. The black people. Because y'all are quick to forget what country you guys fled to shelter when you were slaves.
Hold up.
Wait a minute.
Hold up, Chica. According to the census of 1860, there was approximately 4.5 million Black Americans in the United States. And all 3 to 5,000 of them fled to Mexico. And it wasn't until 2019 that the Mexican government even recognized the Black population as part of its cultural history. But let's conveniently forget the 40,000 Black soldiers that died so that the state that you currently live in isn't still under the Confederacy.
You're quick to forget when Black Lives Matters movement was happening, who was right there next to y'all. You're quick to forget that every time you guys are out there protesting for your rights, who was right there next to y'all. Now you're out here making videos talking about like, let's sit this one down. But you're also quick to talk to us. And then when we say something, you're quick to play the victim card and say, well, you're being when y'all are starting it. But you know, to each their own.
I know this woman personally. We were co-workers and she probably should have contacted me before making this video. Chica, you're out of touch. Black Lives Matter has nothing to do with the real Black community and they got exposed for that.
I feel vindicated because 2 years ago I said that this organization was a disingenuous scam, and it has proven itself to be a disingenuous scam.
You claim that we quick to forget, but I'm not quick to forget that you personally told me that you had to hide all of your Black boyfriends from your parents because they would trip out. Oh, I know you remember that conversation. And with that being said, there's an entire generation of y'all that don't even like us. Fact. So when it comes to us, y'all won't even stand up to your parents, but you want us to stand up for your parents.
You don't find that suspicious?
Meo la Raza stands for improving the race, aka no blacks. MAGA stands for improving the country, aka no illegals.
Damn.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's everything! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
To make one thing very, very, very clear. We are going to do everything in our power to make sure Kamala Harris doesn't win. Vote for, if you want Donald Trump to win, say that. I will vote for Satan if I have to. Remember, no one's free until we're all free. And we can't protect ourselves if we can't protect each other. This is the time for all the minorities, all the movements, all the working class to come together and really build power and really fight against the fascism that's been here, but finally popping its head out and being loud and proud about it. And unless we do something, really come together, it's gonna get real bad.
This is so great.
I'm amazed of how many people from the Black community are telling me to go back to Mexico, telling Mexicans to go back to Mexico because we're illegal and it's a crime. It was also a crime when your ancestors went to Mexico, when they were escaping the white people and Mexico helped them.
Man, there you go with that bullshit.
That's some old bullshit.
A lot of Mexicans got killed for that. They helped them. They help your people. We didn't oppress you guys.
What?
We didn't oppress you guys. We didn't oppress you guys.
You lying?
And this is how you guys pay us. In the past, Black people needed Mexicans. Right now, Mexicans need you guys. And in the future, you never know because things change. Sometimes maybe the white people are gonna need us. Maybe the Black people are gonna need us. You don't know, because God give us things, give us blessings, but He can take them away so fast. So you need to be humble.
Who do we need to be humble to? Mexico or the people that don't want to live in Mexico? After they saved all 3 to 5,000 of us, Mexico stood on the sidelines for over a century while the rest of the 4.5 million of us was getting our black asses whooped. It wasn't until the smoke cleared from the civil rights movement that everybody else found it convenient to come to America.
Him, her, him.
3,000 to 5,000 blacks didn't flee to Mexico for the jobs, opportunity, and welfare benefits. And don't forget that Trump was in office the first time when Mexico finally decided to even recognize its black population. A few black people making jokes about ICE and telling you to go back to your country does not represent the black community, and you know it. Black people love everybody. Unlike yours, our parents and our grandparents embrace everybody, but you would have to be around black people to know that.
You gonna learn today.
Every black family in America has the LGBT, white, Latino, Asian, and every ethnicity you can name as family members. The same cannot be said about your community. I've been to quinceañeras and me and my barber were the only black people there. In fact, we were the only non-Mexican people there.
Bitch, be humble. Hold up, bitch. Sit down.
Even though I'm using my nice voice, I want you to listen to my face. This is a brief and a heartfelt courtesy note from the 92%. We are resting. We're not debating. We're not leading the charge. We're not strategizing. Well, we're strategizing. We're just not strategizing with you. And we're not explaining for the millionth time anything. And we're absolutely not going to fix it for you. It's so simple. We've just decided together and all at once that we're not going to be bashing our beautiful heads against brick walls like we've been doing for decades, trying to guide people out of their own determined madness. And hey, it's been real. It's been a long time between us, but we're done. In just a moment of candor and again in courtesy, our feelings were hurt. Election was deeply, deeply, deeply insulting to us. So the greatest courtesy that you could extend us at this time would be to respect our collective decision to be left alone and in pursuit of our own peace of mind and in contemplation of our own future prosperity. So what does that mean for you? That means no more, just one more conversation. That means no more trying to appeal to what you think our moral compass is. It means no more guilt tripping, no more gaslighting. And it means no more talking down to and trying to rationally explain why we need to all be on the same side right now. Hey, courteously, respectfully, we're going to be over here. We're going to be healing. We're going to be thriving. We're going to be minding our own business. And hey, spring is coming. We're going to be watering our own garden. We're not cruel. If you decide you really, 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 really need us, we don't care. Respectfully, listen to the Hey, It's Alec podcast. This has been a courtesy note from the 92%. Y'all have a great weekend.
Many illegal immigrants are anti-Black Americans, even though they benefit from our civil rights movement. Black Americans are hurt most by illegal immigration. It is wrong for America to provide for non-citizens while Americans suffer.
A 2006 study by Duke University reported that 60% of Mexicans in the country illegally said that Black Americans were lazy, were not good neighbors, and did not work hard. Study after study shows that Black Americans, especially Black men, are the most hurt by illegal immigration in all areas. And yet, you got some of us supporting illegal immigration because we think everybody's our friend. Wake up.
They treat you wrong like you're lower than nothing.
We get treated better. They get treated better than us. That's not fair.
Gabriel De La Cruz and Lee Brown live in a men's homeless shelter that is about 350 yards as the crow flies from the new tent city for migrants opened by the city this week.
It is an insult to Americans, especially Black Americans, for this government to be spending billions of dollars on people who are here illegally while everyday Americans struggle. If you are here illegally, you have to go. End of discussion.
Digital nomads that legally moved to Mexico are gentrifying those communities and pissing some of the locals off. Why? Because they can't compete with workers making tens of thousands of dollars a month in USD. The low-income Black community here in America cannot compete with an illegal that's willing to work for less than minimum wage. Both systems squeeze out a portion of the population that nobody seems to give a damn about. But here's the kicker. Black people overwhelmingly voted in favor of Kamala.
This Mexican dude is a racist. Let's get that clear. Second, there are numerous incidents where Mexicans are asking for the assistance of Black people. Third, this idiot has a lot to say to us about their situation, but he has zero smoke for the ones creating their situation. #Howard.
Black people, What makes you think that Mexicans are gonna come running to y'all for help? What for? Y'all black people can't even help yourselves. That's wild. Mexican people are hardworking people. Mexican people stick together.
92% of black women in this country voted for Kamala Harris. 83% of black men in this country voted for Kamala Harris. We are by far the main and probably the only race that was literally pushing to save every single other demographic who is not white in this country. You might want to take the bass out your voice and show a little bit more respect. If it wasn't for black men and black women, especially black women, we wouldn't have had a chance to even beat Donald Trump. And because more than half of your people voted against their best interests, you guys wouldn't be put in this predicament in the first place. If you had just listened to black people to begin with, y'all wouldn't be here to begin with. Now, I agree with you. It's absolutely disgusting that anybody, black, white, doesn't matter, sitting here making jokes about ICE and deporting people. I think it's disgusting. I agree. But don't you ever in your life think it's okay to fix your lips to say anything about black people like that, especially when we were the main ones trying to save everybody. Everybody. Our women tried to tell you what to do. We advised it. None of you listened. You guys cared more about your proximity to whiteness than saving your children, saving your women, saving your parents and grandparents, etc., etc. Before you fix your lips to sit here and say, oh, black people don't know how to band together, we did. We band together more than every other race in this country when it mattered the most. And y'all still failed us. Clock that T and wake it up.
Ooh, woo, such nastiness there, huh, taters? My. The girls are fighting, and the guys are too.
We couldn't help the survivors of the 1920s Tulsa race riots get reparations. So what makes you think that we can help some illegal immigrants?
How, Sway?
When sexpats go to Latin American countries and deal with the pros down there, the locals want them gone because they're funding a BS economy. That makes it hard on real passport bros to go down there, assimilate, embrace the culture, find wives, and live according to that culture. The real question is, who benefits from illegal immigration? Because it damn sure doesn't benefit the low-income Black and Latino communities.
So here we have your local bodegas, convenience stores, coffee shops, and restaurants. And in some parts of New York, businesses like these now complain that they've got staffing problems and customer problems at the exact same time.
You don't find that suspicious?
And they say it's because of a prevailing sense of fear in immigrant communities over recent Homeland Security activity. But if what these businesses say is true, and both the customers and employees at some of these places aren't supposed to be here, who exactly is benefiting from a system that is in violation of federal immigration law?
That's a good question.
We went to bodegas in Washington Heights, then came over here to the Bronx. Less money coming in, employees not showing up are some of the things that we heard. But for Johan Mencias, ICE raids are already making a positive impact in our neighborhoods.
I know there's a lot of good people too, and I feel bad for them, but what's gotta be done. We gotta clean up. What's gotta be done. We gotta clean up.
Y'all heard it.